G'day Spurs fans, Paul, a Hotspur hippie, the only psychedelic soccer show on the internet. Look at this beautiful sunset about to happen, which gets overexposed on the camera. You have to be here to enjoy it. Very tired, very hard working at the moment. Instead of being a work-shy layabout and getting some yards done. And I wasn't going to do a video, but lo and behold, what a surprise. I just flicked on YouTube and their usual Talksport stuff rears its ugly head. But there was not one, but two voices of reason on Talksport. Steve Perryman and Norman Giller. The clip I did, there was only like a 10-13 minute clip, so it wasn't the full interview. I couldn't see that. But I saw them talk a bit about present day Spurs. I'm sure they're on the show to spruik their books a bill, which is on my list to get in a couple of weeks. I want to get a whole bag of Spurs books. But you know what? When the skipper speaks, it's well worth listening to him. It was apparent to me that, Steve Perryman's football brain is still developing. It's still getting sharper. Very succinctly put what's going on at Spurs. Number one, he's behind Ange. I like what Norman said as well. Keyboard warriors that don't know nothing about football. They've got to be a bit more patient. I think, what did he call them? The fast food generation? Things take time, man. Things take time. And Steve really spelled out what the problem is with Spurs when we're not doing it. He kind of, I don't know if he meant to do this, but he alluded that, well, he mentioned that Bill Nicholson had a list of about sort of 20 principles of football, and I've heard Steve say a couple of these from time to time, like when the ball goes dead, we come alive. You know, take free kicks and throw-ons quickly. If you pass backwards, the next pass has got to be forward. There's another one. I think this is one of things that he said. Don't turn your back to the ball unless you've got eyes in the back of your fucking head. But I don't know if that's a direct quote or not. And I get the feeling now. I don't know this for sure, but I get the feeling that this is the way Ange approaches the game as well. Not through overcoaching, but through basic principles. And when our players follow those principles, we have success. We dominate teams, we outmuscle them, and we win games. But as Steve said, when we stop running, it's not quite hands on hips, but it's nearly. I've seen nearly hands on hips a couple of times. A lack of urgency, then the style of football completely breaks down. You can't play a high press, high octane attacking brand of football. There's that word, brand. If you're just going to stand around and not drag the. I mean, when you're moving around off the ball, you're dragging the other opposition players all over the place, dragging them out of position, putting them at 6s and 7s. They don't know who's to come into their zone or what man to mark if we're moving around all the time. It confuses people. And I don't think when we do that well, I don't think that's according to a set dotted lines drawn on a whiteboard sort of format. I think it's done under some basic principles, which I would love to know one day. But in the meantime, I'm just happy to see the results. On Son's captaincy, I think Steve is right. He said that Son is a great club captain. He leads by example. I mean, he's clean living. You know, there's no dirt anywhere near him, and he's a very thorough professional. On the pitch, we do need to put a bit of stick about. Not just with the opposition, but with our own players. We need someone out there that points the finger and has a quiet word. Pull your finger out, which we don't seem to have at the moment. And like I said in a video the other day, I think a real problem at Tottenham at the moment is a leadership group. I don't like a leadership group. I think there should be one captain, and that's it. They call the shots on the pitch. They're the manager on the pitch, or the manager's eyes and ears or legs on the pitch. I don't like a committee, because maybe that's part of the problem when Son's not there. and you've got Maddison and Romero, who's going to take responsibility? I remember Steve saying when you're on a run with the ball, run at two players, run at two opposition players, because each of them will second guess each other and not perhaps going 100%, and you've got a chance of getting through them. And I'm wondering if that's the story with some of this leadership committee nonsense. Is Maddison waiting for Romero to lift it up? Is Romero waiting for Maddison to take responsibility? The easy way is to have no leadership group, and when Son isn't available, you point a captain there and then, and that's it. And they're the guy that has to do it. So it's an interesting old chat. It was an interesting old chat. It's not often I look at a Talksport video past 30 seconds, and let alone hear a lot of sense. A lot of sense about backing the manager from Norman. We've got to be patient. Ange, he's only been there just over a year, and we can see that when the players do enact whatever he's trying to get them to do, it works. It works, and it works really well. If I was a journalist, and this happens, and if Tottenham perform like rubbish again, standing around, next time I see a player saying, we're sorry, we didn't follow tactics, I would like a journalist or someone to ask them why. Why didn't you? Instead of just kind of accepting an apology and moving on, what is going on? Put them on the spot. Put them on the spot. See if they've got an answer. See if their media PR training expertise prepares them for something like that. It's all well and good, explain. We can see that. We can see that you're not following the tactics. Why? Why don't you do it all the time, from the minute the whistle goes to when the match ends? That's what I want to know. What's in their heads? How are the players going to address it? What are the players going to do differently? Why? Who's going to lift them up? How are you going to make sure you don't do it again? Because I don't like the apologies. I don't care for them. I don't care for them. I get it when it's once in a blue moon, but it's been a couple of times this season. And when you apologise for something, you can't just say sorry and move on. You've got to do something about it. Otherwise, the apology isn't worth shit. So apologise away, but you've got to make amends. And the way you can make an amends is by smashing Manchester City on the weekend. And then everyone will calm down a little bit, because this international break, I've resorted into just silly mode on my channel. There's been a couple of crap made up news reports that I'm not going to address, because it just furthers the silly rumours that are going out. So I'm not even going to say what they are. You probably know what they are. I think it's rubbish. International break is a time, especially when it's on the back of a loss, for a bit of wailing and gnashing of teeth. A bit of controversy, and I hate to say it, folks, I'm not going to do it on this channel. I'm not going to do it on this channel. The gaffer's the gaffer. The gaffer's the gaffer. Hey, maybe I won't get as many views, but I don't care, because I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it my way, and I do this channel to have fun and enjoy my team, and I want them to succeed. I want them to do well, and I don't see putting the boot in to the manager relentlessly. It's just counterproductive. It's not going to achieve anything. It's going to put us backwards. If the murmurs keep on growing, who knows what will happen. But I do know that Ange loves a challenge, and the more he is doubted, the more he's going to dig his heels in and get the job done. So I'm confident that's going to happen. And when it does happen, we'll all have a little smile. We'll be singing Glory, Glory, Hallelujah, and enjoying some glory and silverware if that happens. But in the meantime, I'm going to enjoy a lot of good football. That's what I'm going to enjoy. And it starts on the weekend. I've got a new laptop coming tomorrow. Well, I mean, Australia Post, Express Post. We'll see if it happens tomorrow. So it's going to be all nice and tickety-boo and smooth, but I'll be doing a watch-along. I think kick-off is at 4 a.m. 4 a.m. on Sunday morning, which means I'll be starting to watch along at 3:30 a.m. Yay! But I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the contest. Manchester City, allegedly the best of the best. They've lost 4 in a row. We started the losing run with them. We're going to continue the losing run, and we're going to get our arse in the gear and start marching up the table and doing well in competitions. We're only 3 points off third. We're not a million miles off. I think we're going to have a really good season yet. But we've got to back the manager. Got to back the manager. It's the only way you can ever have a chance in football. The gaffer's the gaffer. Whatever you think about him, and I happen to think he's really good, but white anting doesn't do anything. So there you have it. I hope you're all well out there. Peace and love, man. Peace and love. Come on, you Spurs!